Greetings everyone and welcome to another Fright Night Friday Blu-ray update. Today I've got kind of a mix of stuff for you. I've got a special collector's edition that I've been waffling on for years and finally decided to pull the trigger on. Got a related out-of-print title that I was actually kind of lucky to get. A couple of recent collector's editions and one that's a little bit hard to find here in North America, so I was really happy to find it. Let's check them out today on Fright Night Friday on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Alright, so first up I have a classic Canadian sci-fi horror type film here. Kind of a legendary film. There's been a few memes made based on it. And I remember seeing the movie posters for this when I was a kid, and it just freaked me out. It was just so disturbing. What am I talking about? What else could it be but everybody's favorite exploding head movie, Scanners. Yes, the David Cronenberg classic. This, of course, is the Criterion edition, and it's quite a nice edition, too. Let's take a little closer look here and just kind of see what it's got. Okay, here we go. So, Scanners. This is a very nice edition from Criterion. One thing that's pretty cool about it is it has... where is it here? Yeah, here it is, a remastered high-def transfer of stereo, which it says is Cronenberg's first feature film. It's not quite feature-length, but almost. And then there's the interior. Michael Ironside. The images of Michael Ironside on the poster scared the crap out of me as a kid, even though I hadn't seen the movie and wouldn't see the movie for quite some time. So here we have the booklet, basically just a simple digipack, no interior artwork, but the booklet, I like how it has it backwards on the back, but lots of original art for this set, actually. Very cool essay about the film. I love the essays in Criterion releases. They're just always wonderful and fascinating to read, and information about the transfer, of course. So we just put it all back together. And it's basically just a little slipcase for the digipack. Just kind of put it in the corner there, and there we go. Yeah, it was quite a few years before I actually ended up seeing the movie. I think I saw a bit of it on TV one time, and I saw, the famous head exploding scene, and was appropriately horrified. And it wasn't until years later, I think I rented it when I was in Selkirk. I was like, you know what, I really want to see Scanners. So I rented it and watched it and thought it was brilliant. So now, 30 years later, I finally have it on Blu-ray in the very nice Criterion edition. So next up is the out-of-print title I mentioned in the intro there, which actually ties into Scanners because it's a Scream Factory double feature of the two sequels. We have Scanners 2, The New Order, and Scanners 3, The Takeover. I've never actually seen these, so this will be kind of a treat for me. Now, I always really liked the story and the kind of world of Scanners, so I've always been kind of curious to see how they expand upon that in the sequels. I don't believe David Cronenberg actually had anything to do with these. It was basically just, the studio kind of picking it up where he left off. But let's take a quick look at this Nice little double feature edition from Scream Factory. And there we go, completing the trilogy. So Scanners 2, The New Order, and Scanners 3, The Takeover. There's the spine there. Yeah, it looks like this is just bare bones, but that's okay. It's nice to have the trilogy complete. There we go. It's got the Blu-ray and the DVD. We'll just pop this out. Actually, you know, hold on. We'll just take the insert out, and you can get a better look at the artwork on the other side. It's not really a reversible cover, but it does give you lots of pictures from both movies, which is pretty cool. Slide that back in there. And there we go. Not much on it other than the movies, but hey, it's nice to actually have this in my collection. I was a little concerned when I found out it was out of print, and I was like, oh crap, I only just pulled the trigger on the first one. I really want to get the sequels as well, have the whole trilogy. And yeah, I wasn't able to find it on Amazon CA. It was actually out of stock and only available for exorbitant prices from third-party sellers. But then one of my viewers was watching me lament about it on Saturday Night Insanity, I think, and said, hey, Sean, I don't know if you know this, but it's still in stock in Amazon, at Amazon.com. So, as it turns out, I had been kind of stockpiling my gift card money for a bit. So, I went to Amazon.com, checked it out. It was just going for regular price of, I don't know, about $20 US. And I had enough gift card money to not only cover that, but to also cover the ridiculous shipping cost of sending something from the US to Canada. So it actually ended up not costing me anything in terms of actual real money. So bonus. So not only did I get it, but I didn't actually have to pay a single actual cent of actual money for it. It was all covered by the gift card. So score. So yeah, definitely going to enjoy checking those out. I haven't seen the first one probably since I rented it that time, but it definitely stuck with me. It was one of those movies that really just kind of stays with you. Some really clever ideas in it. A lot of recognizable Canadian actors that I, of course, recognized from my childhood growing up in Canada and watching a lot of Canadian television. And yeah, but also really cool, I have to say, that the Criterion edition of the first one contains stereo, which is, of course, David Cronenberg's first almost feature film. Well, that leads me into one of our other special editions I got. This just came out recently from Vestron. We have Shivers, which is actually David Cronenberg's first full-length feature film. Pretty cool. I've never seen this one before, and really looking forward to checking it out, because, I mean, David Cronenberg is very much a pioneer of the body horror sort of side of horror, and I've been wanting to check out some of his earlier stuff for a while, because that's where he really kind of pushed the envelope and cut loose with it, and this one apparently is no exception. So let's take a quick peek at what is on this lovely Vestron edition. And Shivers. So this one, of course, actually is David Cronenberg's first full-length feature film. And nice and shiny. Doesn't quite have the texturing on the upper bar like the earlier Vestron releases did. It's just no embossing or anything like that. But still very nice to have the slipcover. Lots of special features on there, which is great. So let's just slide this out. And just the same artwork underneath. Very cool. Yeah, so this one I didn't really know much about, so this is going to be a new experience for me. Yeah, so no interior artwork or anything, and a good old eco case, which, you know, we love. They're so sturdy. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Shivers. Pretty nicely loaded, and actually, speaking of deals, this was on for the pre-order price of, I think, $12.98 American. Yeah, ridiculously low for a Vestron title. Let me put this in perspective for you. Here in Canada, I don't know if they just don't have a proper Canadian distributor or what, but Vestron titles tend to be prohibitively expensive here. They typically go for about $50 Canadian. So even factoring in the exchange rate, even factoring in shipping, getting this for $12.98 US would end up costing about half the price of what I would normally pay in Canada for it. But it doesn't stop there. Because I pre-ordered it, it went down in price further to like $10 or something, or $9.99 or something, right after it was released. So because I guess it was within their price guarantee window, they gave me a refund on part of it as well. So it was like just ridiculously cheap. So yeah, score. Really glad I pre-ordered this one. And as it turns out, there was another release that they put out around the same time, well, actually on the same day, that was going for the same price. Namely, Little Monsters. Yeah, so the classic 1989, family-friendly monster movie with Fred Savage and Howie Mandel. I'd heard about this movie for years, but I've never actually seen it, so I'm sure this will be a fun treat. I mean, I've always liked Fred Savage. I used to watch The Wonder Years all the time. And Howie Mandel, again, growing up in Canada, I saw a lot of his stand-up comedy and just sort of his zany comedy routines and whatnot he would do on talk shows and stuff growing up. So I've always been a big fan of his. So, yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. But this is the same thing. It was on pre-order for $12.98, and then shortly after it was released, it dropped to like $10. So I ended up getting a refund of like $5 or $6 on the already incredibly cheap price of these. So, yeah, really glad I pre-ordered them. I mean, normally I expect to pay more by ordering from the States, but in this case, it definitely worked out in my favor. I couldn't believe it. So let's just take a quick look here. Again, this is a really nicely loaded edition, just like Shivers is. Let's take a peek here. And here's Little Monsters. Yeah, once again, no embossing here. It is shiny. You can kind of see that a little bit, but no embossing. Just a nice shiny slipcover. Lots of special features. Again, the Vestron releases are actually quite nice. I like them a lot. Love that they're releasing so many of these great old movies from the 80s and 90s, from the heyday of VHS. And there we go. Very nice artwork on here, which I guess is just taken from one of the movie posters, but great stuff. Love these Vestron releases. I just wish they weren't so expensive in Canada. I would definitely grab more of them. And there you go. So, Little Monsters. Good stuff. Definitely looking forward to checking that out. Now, last but most certainly not least is a kind of a different sort of werewolf movie that I looked around. I thought, with Halloween being a full moon this year, I wanted to get some werewolf movies for the collection, right? I think a lot of people are actually doing that this year. Kind of cool that we have Halloween on a full moon this year. So anyway, I wanted to get some werewolf movies for the collection. Also, just there's quite a few werewolf movies that are conspicuously absent from my collection. So I thought let's try to track some of them down. So this one in particular was one that I was always kind of curious about because it has some unique twists on the werewolf legend, and as it turns out, not available on Blu-ray in North America. However, ITV Films actually put out a region-free Blu-ray. Now, it's listed on Amazon as Region B, but it's actually region-free. And I fully tested that when I got it. It plays in my PS3 and my PS4, no problem. It's 110% region-free. So Amazon was wrong. I'm, of course, talking about The Company of Wolves. Yeah, so this is definitely a bit of a cult favorite. I know it definitely has its fans. I'm sure that I've seen it before. Like, I do have vague recollections, like, of this, the cover art here, the transformation scene where the wolf literally just kind of sheds its human skin and comes out. Like, it's really unique and different kind of transformation scene from what we'd seen before. And, of course, all beautiful practical effects too. But yeah, so I've been wanting to check it out again because I really don't remember much about it. I'm sure I've seen it, but like literally 30 years ago. So I really wanted to check it out again. ideally on Blu-ray, and as luck would have it, ITV put out this lovely region-free edition. So let's just take a quick peek at it here. Company of Wolves. Yeah, this has always been a really cool image to me, the wolf emerging from the skin of the person. And then the oh-so-descriptive spine. Yeah, that's great. And then on the back, yeah, this one also looks like it's just bare bones, but that's okay. And nothing to speak of inside, just the disc in a plain case. And being a region-free, but from region B area, slightly thicker Blu-ray case than what we get in North America. I don't know why that is, but for some reason in region B land they use slightly thicker cases. Yeah, so the whole thing about the spine, it's going to be kind of annoying having that on there. I don't know if that's an ITV thing or if they just forgot to put the title on the spine or what, but yeah, so I mean, nothing too special, bare bones edition, but it's just nice to have it in the collection at long last. Yeah, good stuff. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for this update. So yeah, got some pretty cool stuff. We got Scanners, got the Scanners sequels, we got Shivers, so we're definitely going to get our David Cronenberg on. We got Little Monsters, and we got the Company of Wolves. So some very cool eclectic additions to the collection. Yeah, very glad to have them. Alrighty, folks. Well, as always, I will include Amazon links in the description below for all of these. As I say, the Scanners double feature is out of print, but you might get lucky. Just keep an eye on the third-party sellers. You might be able to find a deal there at some point. Yeah, I'll include Amazon links to all of these, and as always, thank you to those of you who use my Amazon links, because it helps to support the show. Well, case in point, it's thanks to you guys using my Amazon links that I actually got this for nothing. So you literally helped the show in a very direct way. I will be doing reviews of the Scanner films at some point, or Scanners films at some point, so no idea when, but at some point. Look forward to those eventually. That is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks very much for watching. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors. Be sure to catch me on Twitch. I stream just about every day, and I'll see you next time. Until then, sayonara.